I'm in love with the lady that gives me pedicures. A little while ago, I had an ingrown toenail, and I tried to heal it by myself, but I couldn't manage to do it. So I did the next best thing, and I went to a nail salon and got a pedicure, and I asked them if they could deal with my ingrown toenail. There's one woman there that she's the woman I need. She will come and she'll cut the ingrown toenail. The other woman just gives me a pedicure. And the pedicure, I can take it or leave it. I like it. But really, I'm just there to deal with the ingrown toenail. And apparently, one snip isn't enough. I have to keep going back. And hopefully, at some point, it'll get better. But I've been there now 3 times. And the lady that gives me a pedicure, today I fell in love with her. Today she had a low-cut blouse on, and I was looking for moments where I was in the clear, where I was safe, to look at her cleavage. I would wait and look around, conspiratorially, almost. Actually, not so much conspiratorial. I wasn't, afraid. I kind of felt like someone's going to see me do it. Someone's going to see me do it. I hope it's not her. I hope she doesn't see me do it. But someone's going to see me do it, and they're just going to say to themselves, well, that's just the way men are. And they'll say, like, oh, that's just another man there. As long as I don't feel that, I might be fine. I'll be fine. But, yeah, I tried to look down her blouse. And she's a woman of, she's in her 40s, I think. And she's not, a femme fatale or anything. But she's attractive, at least to me. And I didn't really think of her the last 2 times that I saw her. But this time, maybe it was just the cleavage. I don't know. But, yeah, I found myself looking at her cleavage. And there was one moment where, I had a pretty good picture where when she stood up and bent down a little bit. I don't remember what was happening, but that stuck in my mind. And I had to run to work, but I had a moment to jump into Whole Foods and masturbate in the bathroom. So that's what I did. And, in these fantasies that I have, I imagine myself with the person in some way. I imagine them liking me. And then I think, well, they may not like me if I don't have money. So in this fantasy, I have some money. And then I think, well, they may not like me unless I commit. So then in the fantasy, I commit. I become a different person. And in the fantasy, she doesn't speak very much English. So I learn Vietnamese because I want to learn Vietnamese. Between you and me, I do not want to learn Vietnamese. I could care less about Vietnamese. But if somehow I fell head over heels over this woman and somehow believed she's my soulmate, yes, I would learn Vietnamese so that I could communicate with her. But I don't feel like she's my soulmate. The fact of the matter is, but in my fantasy, I do go there too. I might go there too. I might say, oh, she's my soulmate. Oh. But I remember at some point I went there today and I thought, I really don't feel that. There's nothing that tells me that that's the case. There's no real feelings between us. At one point, I asked her what the name of an oil thing was, and I said, what's the name of that? And she didn't know what I was talking about. And she pointed to herself and said, my name? And just that idea that, and she smiled when she said it. And here I was looking at her cleavage. So, I mean, not at that time per se, but the fact that she was bright and smiled and all of that. Um, and I didn't feel this feeling of being caught. Sometimes if someone's not attracted to you and they catch you ogling them, they'll probably get disgusted, and they'll probably shoot you, a glance of recrimination. And that didn't happen today. So that fueled the fire that I had. But the interesting thing, the reason why I'm making this video, and it might sound really pervy, and it might sound really, for some, it would be very shameful. But the reason I want to make it is that, this is real. This is my life. As perverted as it may be, it's my life. There's people on different sides. There's people who say, that's completely normal, Theo. And then there's, the people who say there's not a lot of people, but there's the people that say, you should look for your soulmate. You should be with someone that you really want to be with. You should be honest, and you shouldn't settle for anyone but your true love. And then there's people who say, clearly you don't love her. You don't want to marry her or be with her forever. So maybe just, have a fling. Anyway, as far as the committed thing goes, like, I don't see myself committing to this person, but in my fantasy, in order for the fantasy to work, in order for her to like me, I have to imagine that I'm committing to her. I don't know. It's just a funny thing. Like I might want to take her in the back and just like have my way with her, but I don't believe that she would want that. I believe she would want some kind of commitment. And so, in order for the fantasy to work, I have to present myself as someone that is committed. But I know in my heart, I'm not committed. And that's the rub, and that's the problem. And the thing I wanted to say is that, you know, I fell head over heels over this woman enough to the point that I, risked someone catching me masturbating in the public bathroom. I mean, I did it in a stall, but there was a janitor there that kind of gave me an eye, like, "What are you doing?" And then people, if you're in the stall too long, and anyway, if you're in the stall too long, and someone's waiting for it, that's not good. So it was a bit of a risk, and I just knew that I would be thinking about her all day at work if I didn't do it right away. That's kind of my rationale. I'm not saying it's good. A lot of people are grossed out by that. Theo, how can you masturbate in a public bathroom? That's gross. Ew. Incidentally, I don't feel that way. If someone was, I wouldn't, be too upset if someone was masturbating. If someone masturbated on a toilet seat that I used after the fact, after that, I think what comes out of your anus is more disgusting than what comes out of you know, your genitals. Anyway, the thing that I wanted to mention here, the point of all this is that I see myself attracted to people. So that happened this morning, right? And later, I was attracted to somebody else. I was at a gaming cafe, a PC gaming cafe, computer gaming and whatnot. And there was this cute little blonde-haired girl. She was really small. And, I kind of looked her up and down. I ogled her as well. And I had a few interactions with her through the night, and she was just so beautiful to me. She was just like captivating. And on my Uber ride home, I found myself thinking about her and like starting to fantasize about her. Well, what happened to my love for the Vietnamese lady? And 3 days ago, I was attracted to one of my coworkers at work. 4 days ago, I was attracted to a different coworker. This is the story of my life. It doesn't change. You know, I think some people go out there and find someone, and if that person is, good enough, and they reciprocate, in a basic way, then that's a match. That's good enough for them. And I know in my heart, none of these relationships will probably work. I mean, I might learn something from them, but ultimately, I'll feel devastated knowing that my true feelings are that I don't love this person. I may not feel that they're my soulmate. I want to get laid, and that's it. So, you can go into a relationship knowing that, and it's like a ticking time bomb. At some point, that it's going to be, it's gonna fall apart. So I guess that those are my ruminations for the night. I feel like I could talk for another 10 minutes, but I don't think I have enough storage space on my phone. That's what's stopping me right now. It's just interesting to me that I don't know if anyone else has experienced this. I definitely have in my life, where you fall in love with someone, and then you fall in love with someone else, and then you fall in love with someone else. And I mean, you really can't trust that. If that's the way you operate. And the thing is, a lot of people are like that, but they get married anyway, and they think they're going to be okay, or they get into a committed relationship, and they still think they think that might they might, and there might be a honeymoon or period of a few years that where it's great sex, great affection, a lot of things are working out, but at some point they find that their eyes wander. You know, this isn't this isn't the only person I'm thinking about. And for me, that's already obvious beforehand. For me, I know that I've got this problem where I look at all kinds of women all the time. And I wish I knew who my soulmate was because I would just masturbate to her. I'm sorry if she doesn't like it. She might not like me if I meet her. But I feel like I would compare her to all the other women that I normally fantasize about. And I would say, why is it that I want to be with one of these other women and not this my soulmate? And I feel like I would try and work it out. But maybe not. I mean, I know I'm not attracting my soulmate into my life. I'm just looking at these matters and trying to make sense of it without a lot of guidance. So that's my little video, and talk to you later.